of things, leaving the fact that he was obviously one of the greats of the game aside and a fantastic player for just one moment. There were, in my opinion, two important factors to why he was able to seize on the popularity there available in China. The first one, of course, I think was the introduction of Yao Ming in 2002. Interest before Yao Ming was drafted in the NBA wasn't as big until he arrived. Obviously, the NBA Finals were first shown here in 1994. Kobe was drafted in 1996, but when Yao arrived, that's when interest really did peak, and Kobe was the standout star. The Lakers had just won their third title in a row, so everyone knew he was the top star. The Lakers and the Rockets actually had a series with each other where Yao and Kobe went against each other and really stood out. So I think Chinese fans really got a sense of the fact that Kobe Bryant was the man to watch out for, and while he continued to win titles and won MVP honors with the Lakers, we had the emergence of social media, of course. Weibo was introduced in 2008, so we had a platform to show Chinese fans, you know, a bit more of his personal life and a bit more of, you know, of how down-to-earth he can be, so fans could really engage with his personality. And of course he did the business on court, and in 2008 he came here with the American national team to win the Olympic gold. So fans, I think, you know, really got to know him more than let's say someone like Michael Jordan, who didn't have the platforms like social media and the television coverage here in China at the time. But obviously he was a fantastic player, and the fans really, you know, got on board with his ability and his personality.
Mike, you mentioned social media and the impact and the connection he had with fans. What are some of the things that you've been reading? How are Chinese fans reacting online to his death?
Well, I think most of the, you know, the outcry of emotion has come for the fact that they could relate to Kobe Bryant. You know, they felt in many ways he was one of their own. Obviously, he was American, but I think it's important to remember, you know, he did grow up overseas. He grew up as an overseas fan of the NBA himself, with his father in Italy as a professional basketball player. So every time he came to China, he first came in 1998, he had a bit more of a personable approach, you know, always gave time for everyone. If you see him in interviews, he spoke a lot, spoke to everyone, always gave everyone their time. And I think he also, you know, connected with them in a way that perhaps others didn't, because he understood the passion that can come from overseas to the NBA. And he also knew that, you know, what the NBA meant to Chinese fans, and what his, you know, his personality and his stature within the LA Lakers meant to the fans in China as well.
What do you think his legacy will be there in China?
You know, it's many things, I think. From a commercial standpoint, we've seen people like James Harden, Steph Curry and LeBron James come over here in the wake of Kobe's success, building their brands in recent years, of course. But we still see Lakers 24 jerseys, you know, everywhere in China. His legacy will be the fact that, you know, he was the first big and probably will be the biggest NBA star to ever grace China. And, you know, more people picking up basketballs, getting into the game. And obviously, if, you know, like many people in China, the NBA is actually a gateway to the Chinese Basketball Association, not the other way round. So more people watching the NBA at the time, and then they're actually turning their attention to the Chinese league, because it meant they could actually watch some action up close. So I think he has a legacy that impacts the international stage and the domestic front as well.